Hello, this is Chef John from foodwishes.com with how to make your own homemade sports drink. That's right. Would you rather pay $2 a bottle for something that's artificially flavored, artificially colored, and probably not that great for you? Or one you can make yourself in just minutes using real ingredients for just pennies a bottle? I know it's a tough call, so don't answer yet. Why don't you think about it while I get started with what I like to call Greaterade? And that's because it's just like Gatorade, only greater. And we will begin this incredibly easy formula by adding 1 cup of water to a kettle or pot. And yes, we are going to add a lot more water to this, but what we want to do is start with just 1 cup in which to dissolve our ingredients. The first of which would be our sweetener, in my case honey. And yes, if you want, you could certainly use regular sugar, but I do like the honey, and I think most people would agree it's probably better for you. In fact, the only people that think white sugar is just as healthy work for the sugar companies. And you have to admit, that's kind of a weird coincidence. But anyway, to do a sports drink, we're going to need some type of sweetener, as well as some type of salt. And personally, I'm going to recommend Himalayan pink salt, which is not only a pure salt with no additives, but it also contains lots of trace minerals that apparently your body would enjoy replacing. So we'll need to toss in some salt, preferably pink. And then next up, we're going to add one optional, but easy to find ingredient, a powdered calcium and magnesium supplement. And from what I hear, that stuff's great for your muscles and nervous system, among other things. So a little touch of the old calcium and magnesium powder. And then last but not least, we will add just a little touch of cayenne. No, not enough to taste, but still enough to work a little magic on your insides. And then what we'll do at this point is grab a whisk and bring this over to the stove and set that on low heat, and we will warm that up, stirring until everything's dissolved, which is only going to take a minute. So we don't want this to simmer or boil, we simply want it to heat up, and how you'll know you're done is everything will be dissolved. And it should look something like this. And by the way, don't worry if you get a couple dark particles of the salt that never dissolve. Those are just rocks. And then what we'll want to do is let this cool down to room temperature while we pull together our fruit juices. So for this recipe, we're going to want 1 cup of any kind of fruit juice, preferably freshly squeezed, please. So I'm going to start with some orange juice, which as you can see, I'm straining to remove the pulp. I will admit orange juice pulp is my kryptonite, although it really doesn't sap my strength as much as it just annoys me. But anyway, my juice blend is going to start with some orange juice, to which I'm going to squeeze in a couple limes, as well as a couple nice juicy lemons. And people, please stop emailing me telling me to microwave the lemons first to make them juicier. Everybody knows that one. And like I said, we're going to want to end up with about a cup, or a little bit over. And then all we have to do to finish our Greaterade is add our freshly squeezed juice to our sports drink base. We can also go ahead and dump in the rest of the water. And we will take a whisk and give that a stir. And believe it or not, that's it. Our homemade sports drink is done. And not only is this going to taste as good, if not better, even the color's pretty close. I mean, come on, that looks good enough to be mistaken for artificial. So above and beyond saving all that money, I really think you're going to love how this looks and tastes. And speaking of taste, let me go ahead and try a little. And fair warning, if you use the same ingredient amounts that I do, this will not be as sweet as the stuff from the store, which works for me because I think those things are way too sweet. But of course, if you want it sweeter, just add more sugar or honey or whatever you're using. You are the Barton Fink of your homemade sports drink, so feel free to adjust the sweetness, as well as the saltiness or amount of fruit juice for that matter. And of course, we could just store this in the fridge in a pitcher, or better yet, fill up some plastic bottles so you can drink it on the go. Believe me, this is the video those big drink companies do not want you to see. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they send someone to pay me a visit. You know, to have a little chat, and possibly even neutralize me. Although that's probably a little dramatic. But anyway, the point is this is just really fast and easy to make. And as we've already discussed, you get a far superior product at a much, much cheaper price. So I really do hope you give this a try soon. Head over to foodwishes.com for all the ingredient amounts and more info as usual. And as always, enjoy.